Step one is we want to create an automation so that when someone fills out that form, something happens, right?
Right.
i.e. you're notified. So to do that, we're going to create an automation because like everything, automations are wonderful. And we are going to create a new one. Boom. We'll start from scratch like that. So with any automation, it's got to have a trigger. So it's got to have something happen for it to activate. And for us, it's quite easy. So we always start with a new trigger. The trigger is, this is what kicks it off, right? This is what starts it. So we've got many choices in here. There's hundreds of choices, but we want this to fire off when someone fills that form out. So if we just type in form, we want this to activate when the form is submitted. Okay, so we click on form submitted. The form submitted is going to be for the weight loss. You called it pre-screening, right?
Right.
The weight loss free screening. So this is what we're going to call it. So all we have to tell this is what form is actually going to trigger this off. And all we do is we find the form, which is the weight loss form, which is the one we created the other week. And we just hit save. And just before we do that, I'm going to copy this. So basically, when anybody submits that form, this is now going to create an action and fire something off. What I always like to do up in here where it says new workflow, I always like to call it what it actually is. And this is when someone submits this form, right? Cool. So the first thing we want to do is probably acknowledge that the fact that they filled the form out, right? Is to tell them that we received the form. Typically, the way we do that is by sending an email. So we're going to send them an email. You don't really need any delays unless you feel that you want to like wait a certain period of time before we send the email out.
No, can it be a text?
Yeah, we can do a text as well. You can you can send a text, you can send an email, or you can send both.
Okay.
What would you prefer?
I definitely prefer the text because everybody's on the phone.
Yeah, man, I agree. So let's do that. And we are going to send SMS like this. So we're going to send a text message and acknowledging the fact that we received the form. So bear in mind, they submitted this form, they entered in their first name, their last name, their email address, right? Their phone number, what obstacles they're facing, you know, so they actually gave you enough information for you to go, you know, and do you prefer hi, hello, or hey? What do you prefer when you're addressing a potential client? Okay, so hello. And then all we're going to do is insert a custom value, and we're going to insert their first name because we already have it. So, hello, Clinton, comma, thank you for your weight loss free screening form submission, right? So you're acknowledging the fact that they submitted this weight loss free screening form submission. Let's just capitalize the weight loss. Anything else you want to say?
I will call you soon to set up an appointment.
Perfect.
Or maybe we will call you soon.
Yeah, okay. The royal we will call you soon. Soon to set up an appointment. Anything else?
I guess I could remind them to review the testimonials.
Yeah. Okay, so you could go before this call, comma, review our testimonials. Then I would just do a formal, I would say something like regards, hypnosis by doctors. Now becomes the question, do you want to send this out as soon as they submit the form, or do you want to create a delay?
As soon as they submit it.
All right, so as soon as they submit that form, they're going to get this text message, right? And there it is. Do you want to also send an email, because you will have their email address?
Yeah, I guess that'll be okay.
Yeah, you might as well, just in case they missed the text. So we're going to send an email as well. What I like to do on these emails, so it's going to be from, I'm going to put hypnosis by doctors, because that's what they're expecting. What's your email address coming from?
Dr. Clinton W. Smith.
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
Okay. And obviously we're going to send it inside a follow-up Spark, but they're only going to see this. And then in the subject line, something like, I wouldn't use the word free because it comes up as spam sometimes in emails. I would just say screening form received, like that.
Yes.
And that way, sometimes free, it can trigger it. And then I've copied what we actually put in the text. And then the only difference is I would put, hello, thank you for weight loss. Thank you for your weight loss. And we'll call you to set your appointment. Before this call, review our testimonials. And then just in here, I would put, I also sent you a text a few moments ago. That way they know it's all from you. And I would just put we. I just put we also, because what happens is they'll save your number as, oh, it's hypnosis by doctors, and they'll save the number, which is what you want, because everything's going to be done through your follow-up Spark number. So that's good. So we also sent you a text a few moments ago. Regards, hypnosis by doctors. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right. So they're getting an email. Boom. And they're getting a text. There's no delay. As soon as they fill that form out, boom, it sends these. But now what we want is we want to notify you that actually you have received a form submission on your website. Do you prefer to be notified by text, email, both, or just an internal?
Both.
You want both?
Uh-huh.
All right. You can always change it as well if you start getting too many text messages. Sometimes I have to turn mine off, especially if I've got a form out there on the internet and it's whatever my offer was is really going well. Sometimes you want to turn that off. So send internal notification. So this is going to go to you. What type? Let's just do the SMS first. So internal notification text. I'll put SMS. We know what it is. We're going to send it to, at the moment, you're the only user, I understand, right?
Yes.
But we're just going to put all users. So that means should you add someone in the future, they'll get the text as well. You can always change that. And this is now just a personal message to you. And what's cool about this, only you're going to see it. So you can say, hey, Clinton, you have just received a weight loss screening form submission, right? This is just going to you, so it doesn't have to be pretty, but you'll know what this is. Hey, Clinton, you've just received a weight loss screening form submission. And the good news is we can actually say submission from, and then we can insert the person's full name so you know who it's come from, which is helpful when you want to search for someone.
Yes.
And then I'm going to put with with an email address of, and again, you can search this if you want to, but at least you're getting all their info, and phone number. So now basically you're getting all their details in a text. Should you be on the road, you can quickly call them, quickly text them.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, so regards. And then you know it's come from Follow Up Spark. Okay?
Okay.
So when you get that text, I'm going to add a little note in here. So when you've just received a weight loss screening form submission from their name with an email address of and a phone number of, but just in here, actually, I'm going to add check your forms submission area for full details. Do you know where that is? If not, I'll show you in a second. Because now what you're going to do is you're going to go to your form submission area, and when they typed out, what are their obstacles that they're facing. They might have written, a big War and Peace article on it. Now you'll be able to see it inside of the submissions area of Follow Up Spark.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you how to do that. But this is just a reminder, check your form submission area for full details, right? Boom. So you're going to get that text when anybody fills the form out. Perfect. Oh, spelled SMS wrong. Don't know how I managed that. It's a mess. All right, you want an email as well?
Yes, thank you.
Internal notification. This time we're going to send an email. Going to send the email from Spark, so you know where it's coming from. Coming from info.spark.com. It's going to all users. Subject is avoiding the word weight loss in the subject line, because sometimes that gets tagged as spam as well. Because all the spammers use weight loss, unfortunately. This way, it's not going to trigger it in spam. And then you just use weight loss from with an email address of and a phone number of. So exactly the same message, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Save that. All right, that is the basics of when someone submits a form, they get a text, they get an email, you get a text, you get an email. That's pretty much all we need to do, unless you want something else.
No, I think that's...
Yep, it's pretty much it. It's just a quick communication automation that they get contacted by you and you get contacted by the automation. So we'll save that.